So I start the game off and I get my bearings. And I decide to go after the seduction target first. But he was alone in conversation too long, so he walked away. But since it's fairly early in the game, I don't see much of a problem in following him. After Seduce, I return the briefcase, so hopefully if James studied my previous games where I returned the briefcase a lot, it would serve as a reminder to not low light for briefcase, which would hopefully hurt his sniper game. I didn't want to follow the seduction target again, so I decided to go to the bookcases, and I found that one of the best times to transfer microfilm with the animation is directly after he marks the book, because snipers tend to look elsewhere for a second or two, but with a white action test, it wasn't quick enough and he caught me. So for this game I decide to watch the statues for inspects, especially for grabbing the middle statue, and watch the ambassador. I'll also watch for miscellaneous pathing as there's lulls in activity. I highlight everyone who visits statues as I normally do. And I try to keep moving so it's hard for him to tell exactly where I'm looking. I reduce the highlights for going to the bookcase, and I low light him for returning the briefcase, or making an attempt to as the ambassador reads a book. I let him for possibly being able to bug the ambassador, as I wasn't paying too careful attention to him. I low light her for visiting a statue right after visiting a statue, because I didn't think James would do that in a tournament environment, because that's buggy AI behavior, or non-human behavior. I return him to neutral for visiting bookcases.
Banana bread.
After Banana Bread, I shoot her because she was my top suspect at the time and she was talking. I take control and get a quick flirt in. And also grab a drink, because at the time I was in the habit of doing that quite a lot. but I decided I really don't want the drink in my hand anymore, so I'm going to drink it pretty quickly. I had time just to give myself more, because I am not the biggest fan of 4 or 5. I get another flirt in close proximity. I'm even going to wait until it's my turn to speak, so no one else is going to be talking at the time. I don't want to drink because I want to follow the seduction target to the statues. I'm going to flirt in before I pick up the statue, which is risky, but he was on the other side, so he couldn't see it. I'm going to inspect both statues to get that mission out of the way. So right now I'm in a really good position. And I know I have a highlight early in the game, which is usually pretty bad, so I'm going to twitch and pick up the same statue while he was watching, so hopefully he would think I'm an AI, because humans won't do that kind of stuff. But he shot someone else anyway. Now, so I decided to memorize statues real quick. And now I start highlighting people who have visited statues and lowlight some cast. I also need to make sure I keep the ambassador on my screen at all times, so you'll watch and he won't be off the screen for much more than a second. Try to get a good angle of that statue to see if it's been swapped. I lowlight him for making a new destination after having a double collision with the red dress. Lowlight for briefcase return. Keep it on the ambassador. And I spin so that it's kind of hard for the spy to tell exactly what I'm looking at. Highlight him for a weird briefcase return, and also coming back to the same conversation that he left. And there was just a bug on the screen there where that guy that I'm about to highlight at the statues took a drink while walking. So he took 2 sips of a drink before picking up the statue, which AI normally wait until there's 1 sip to go to the statue, and anything else is a bug. and I thought that all bugs about that had been fixed, and it was just a spy trying to drink real quick so that he could pick up the statue, and I decided to shoot him for it. So I already planned ahead of time to not take control for the whole first minute and a half of the game, or so. Just to let his suspicions build, because I had been playing against R7 Stewart earlier in the week for practice, and he beat me a lot of the time on balcony. So I wasn't quite confident in my ability to be able to play it and win by myself. So I was hoping that this would be my best opportunity to win, because he wouldn't expect me to not take control. I plan on eventually just doing a random banana bread, so the sniper will hopefully shoot somebody, otherwise I'm just going to lose. So I'm waiting for what I consider to be the best moment to do it. And I try to take in who he's suspicious of, like Yellow Jacket, who is next to the ambassador directly.
Banana bread.
And it worked. Now, to start off, make sure I watch the ambassador for any early bug attempts. Then I can like cast once everything calms down. Decided to low light him for the briefcase. And I consider highlighting her, but then I decide that a human wouldn't voluntarily get that close to the ambassador.
Banana bread.
I decided to shoot him for simply taking a drink. considering the possibility that it could have been a taunt. Because humans will almost involuntarily take at least one action after completing all their missions.